Let's go for a ride. Hey, you turn me right on. Let's get on the bike. Hey, you turn me right on. You're nothing to hide.
Well, I pretty much started racing enduros like maybe 2 years ago. So I started out just kind of doing it on the East Coast. I've done pretty well on the East Coast because it's terrain I'm pretty familiar with. And then I've done some West Coast ones where I've done well, and then I've done some World Series ones that are super hard, and there's just so many fast guys that it's definitely humbling because you feel like you put in pretty good runs and there's, you know, 80, you know, your 80th place or something like that. So it just depends, you know, on where you're racing. This is part of the North American Enduro Tour this year, so there's definitely some more guys than that would normally be here. And then it's also part of a Triple Crown series on the East Coast, so it's a little bit bigger deal. So this terrain is familiar, but a lot of guys I've never raced against or anything like that. So just try to ride your fastest and see how it goes.
Is this your primary focus now, Enduro?
No, it's something that I personally focus on quite a bit because it's fun and challenging, and I had my whole entire career riding trials, and I always joked that I made a career going slow, so now I'm trying to go fast. So a lot of my sponsors really care about the trials events because you go out and you get to show off in front of big crowds and have a captive audience, and it's kind of unique. But after doing it for 15 years, like, I still always try to do the best show I can, but it's not like you have to train to do it or whatever. So it's just kind of fun to try to train to do some enduro races and mess with your equipment and, you know, try to dial in a course and whatever. It's just kind of cool to get that competitive aspect versus just showmanship.
Do you feel like the street trials background gives you any advantage on any of the courses or any aspect of enduro?
Not really. I mean, if it's slow technical, yeah, but for the most part you're trying to go fast, and trials is all about always feeling in control. Like, you don't ride a trials course and ever feel out of control, and you got to get over that with enduro racing or downhill racing. You're not always going to feel in control. You just have to go with it. So on some of the slow trail riding stuff that you might do just out riding with your buddies and stuff, it definitely comes in handy. But on a race course, probably a lot of bad habits you need to break. Bad trials habit is, yeah, riding off the back of the bike, always wanting that feeling of being in control, and obviously riding the brakes and stuff like that. Because you're always in control on a trials bike, it's always natural to stop and get on your back tire and get set and check out what you're going to ride and make sure you're all dialed in, and then you make your jump. And then also the other thing with trials, since it's such a slow speed sport, looking ahead on a trials bike is 5 feet in front of you, and when you're going down a trail 30 miles an hour, looking ahead is 20 feet in front of you. So you really got to try to focus on riding with your head up and stuff like that. So those are probably the worst habits that you pick up riding trials. The cool thing is, I mean, the one cool thing is, from competitive trials isn't very big in the States anymore, so I don't really do it. But the one cool thing that I like about enduro racing is when you have a trials contest coming up, you practice. You try to practice similar terrain that you're gonna have a contest on. You can't practice the course, but you could walk it and you can look at it. So that's kind of cool, because with enduro, you're walking a course, you're checking it out, you're trying to figure out how to break it down. So that's, course analyzation is pretty similar, but kind of where it stops.
She turned me right.